there, I'm Donna from Riverside Beads, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little Lillian flower fairy charm. So she's a beaded flower fairy charm made out of a selection of these beads here, and I'll show you how to construct her. Now it's head pin loop work, which is something that I've shown in previous videos, and head pins have a little base on them. Now for the purpose of this flower fairy, we will cut the base off one of the head pins. The kits that Riverside do always have everything you need in. So this is the kit laid out as you would get it. You get your assorted lucite flowers, you get your bead caps, which we've used as a sort of filigree decoration for a skirt. And this is all in the antique brass colour. So this is a colour that I don't always use in my findings. I sort of have a bit of a go-to to silver, but this works beautifully with this colourway. So all of these are in the antique brass wings, and these gorgeous little diamante rondelles with the sort of filigree look on the edge as well. So these are an absolutely stunning one there. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, you get that gorgeous shimmer on that crystal. So I've set one up, so I'll just move my mat over. I've set one up ready to go. I should just bring in my ready done one. And what we do is we're going to nip off the base off the bottom of a head pin. So with my cutting pliers, you always cut this way, so the side, as you close them together, the side that goes flat, the other side dips in. It's a bit tricky to work out where you are. So I want to nip that right on the end. So if I took that there, you would see that you haven't got any overhang there. So I would nip that off, and then I would point it down into my mat and just nip the base off there. That didn't leave, there we go. So that's that. And then we've just got a piece of wire. Now if you have eye pins in the matching colour, you could do this with an eye pin, because that's ultimately what we're going to create. Flip to your round nose pliers. These are Riverside's premium set that we have. It's well worth having a good set of pliers if you're going to do head pin loops. It really will make such a difference. So I'm starting by turning this at a 90-degree angle, which will make my bend. And then I've gone a little further than 90 degrees, but it'll be fine. It'll correct itself when I roll it. End of the pin there. It doesn't have to be the end of the pliers. The point on the pliers that you use will determine the size of the loop. So I'm rolling that round, and I will just drop it back into that loop and just finish my loop there. So I've got that on the pin. So that's that one. So that's my eye pin created. Then I will get my, just bear with me, my camera's just slipped a fraction. It's slipping again, sorry about this. Okay, hopefully that's staying for me, sorry. Okay, so I've got my eye pin there, and then I'm going to build this up with a, so on this one, what we want to do, sorry, let me get my flow again. Right, so what I'm going to do is pop my legs onto here. So these are a little 3x4 crystal rondelle, and I'm popping each of those onto the leg. Now, you can obviously have these legs as long as you want. If you sort of envisage how it'll be under there, that would probably be too long for the leg, even with the loop turned in the top. So I'd probably nip a fraction off, maybe 1 centimetre or so, off each one. If you then use that first one to measure your second one, so you know how big a space to nip off, no right or wrong really here, just how you want it to look. And then I'll turn my loop onto there. So then we'll go round those pliers again to the end, bend that at a 90-degree angle and roll it. And that's that one ready. This will disappear into the skirt, so it won't matter too much how your loops are, so long as they're closed. But if you're getting good practice of the technique of making nice round loops, it looks really nice then when you do your earrings and things. So I'm flipping now to my flat nose pliers for the next part, and I'm going to flip open the base of the eye pin that we created a moment ago. So I've just, sorry, I went to do it forward and it caught, so I just pushed it backwards instead. Hopefully you can see that. And then we go and pop those on. And then I will flip it back closed again. So now I've got my eye pin with the legs dangling off of it. So now we need to finish constructing our flower fairy. We pop that through the flower. So they're probably still a little longer than my original one that I did. You can just adjust them accordingly. Then I'm going to pop the bead cap on. Now the bead cap is a filigree cap, and it's a multi-petal one, so what you can do is you can slightly adjust these like so, and that will just sit a little neater there onto the skirt. And then you pop the flower on the top there. Just give it a little push down just to make sure it sits where it needs to, and that gives you a really lovely little look. We do these in rose gold, silver, and then this gorgeous antique brass colour, so you can really vary up the design of your flower fairy. Then we go wings, then the head. These are an 8mm, and they're a frosted bead, these are. So they're part of our frosted range that we stock in 3 sizes, 4, 6 and 8mm. So Riverside stock all these individual elements. So if you'd like a particular bead and think, oh, I'd like to make a bracelet out of that, we stock everything you need. But when we do a kit, we pop all of it together for you. So we bag up all the quantities you'd need. So you need, you know, your 2 legs and your beads to go with it. And then we turn it into a kit for you. Final part of your gorgeous flower fairy. And they're slightly different to the angels that we do, with all of, you know, how you can have the dangling legs and the beautiful sort of filigree bit onto the skirt. That's why we thought she looked a bit more like a flower fairy than an angel, this one. So I'm cutting that there. Again, nipping it down into the mat so it doesn't fly off everywhere. Bending this at a 90-degree angle. Now, I happen to have picked up my flat nose pliers. If you've got those to hand, you can just bend it. If you make sure your bend, I'm just going to push it with my fingers without, I'm not pushing right on the end, I'm pushing away. If you can get that so it goes into one of the little dips of the Diamante Rondelle, that'll just get it as far over as you possibly can. Round those pliers to the end of that pin and then roll it. Now this pin will then, this loop will then sit inside that crown. So round, dropping it back into your loop, if that's the style of way you do your head pin loop. And then just get in there, that looks like it's fairly well closed there. And just make sure that it's closed inside the loop, there's inside. So then that is ready to hang on to your item of choice. With this particular kit, we haven't put anything specific in there to hang it from. It makes a beautiful bag charm, a drop off of a necklace, just a little sun catcher or something as well. And it's in these gorgeous shades of purple and lilac. So this is the Lillian Flower Fairy Kit. It's available from Riverside Beads, exclusively designed by Lindsay for Riverside Beads. And watch out for more colours hopefully coming in this as well. I think they look absolutely gorgeous with the beautiful antique brass findings as well. So I'll just pop this back in so you can see what she looks like when she's hung up in the sunshine, out on my magnolia tree, looking all beautiful and fairy-like. Gives her a real sort of shimmer when the sun's on her. So I thought it would make a lovely sun catcher as well. So thanks for joining Riverside Beads again. If you're live here with us or you're watching it back on YouTube and you catch us weekly, we're not here for a live tutorial next week, which is the 8th of June, but we do have our live auction in the evening. So 6 p.m. we have our live auction where we have ex-demo kits, some beady bargains and bundles that we pull together as well. And we're a retail shop here in Market Deep in Peterborough in the UK, and we do often have these little bargainy bits here, but we haven't been able to find a way to get them to our mail order customers and people that don't live near enough to pop to the shop. So we're doing that at 6 o'clock next week, and then we'll be back with our live tutorials again thereafter. Thanks very much for joining us again, everybody, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks.